Welcome back everyone, it's me here, and welcome back to the Book Distiller. Today, we are diving into a brutal breakdown of Animal Farm by George Orwell, or The Politics of Pigs. Animal Farm is a haunting, illustrated nightmare that violently hooks the reader. At first glance, it masquerades as a cute, colorful children's fable. But beneath the surface, it is grotesquely bleak and terrifyingly tragic. It hijacks the familiar tropes of folk Tali's a magical world where animals speak, reason, and think exactly like, or even better than, human beings only, to brutally expose the dark reality of human existence. The most terrifying political system of all, totalitarianism. It makes me believe this masterpiece should be spread like a viral survival manual. What does that mean? It means not everyone needs the patience to read it cover to cover. But every single person on Earth absolutely must know its core message. It paints a darkly comical yet unforgettably visceral picture of a dictatorship. The story kicks off at Manor Farm, run by the tyrannical Mr. Jones. It's packed with your standard livestock pigs, chickens, ducks, dogs. They routinely hold secret, underground meetings under the cover of darkness to discuss the fate of their kind. All the animals gather to absorb the teachings of an elder pig, revered as Old Major. Old because he survived 12 brutal years, an astonishing feat for a pig. He stands tall and preaches about the absolute enslavement of all animals and the savage cruelty of humans. Perfectly embodied by the ruthless Jones, Old Major exposes the absurd, parasitic contradiction between man and beast. Man produces absolutely nothing. No eggs, no milk, not even raw physical labor. Animals provide everything, grinding away with relentless survival instincts. Yet, animals are forced to live under the vicious, suffocating yoke of humanity. Condemned to brutal forced labor for pathetic starvation-level rations. Forced to surrender everything they produce, having their children ripped away, with the weak and sick violently discarded. While humans live in lazy, manipulative luxury. Hearing this, the animals erupt in raw, collective outrage. They grieve for their pathetic existence and ignite the spark of rebellion to seize absolute autonomy. Old Mage even teaches them their own anthem, Beasts of England, which rapidly becomes the battle cry echoing in every secret assembly. But shortly after lighting the match, Old Major dies. The two most brilliant pigs, Napoleon and Snowball, step up to seize command. They relentlessly agitate and incite the animals to violently rise up in revolution. They brainwash the ignorant who naively believe Jones is some merciful god keeping them alive. They forcefully awaken the apathetic and the cynics. And then, circumstances forge heroes. After being starved to the brink of death, the desperate animals are forced to break into the grain store just to survive. Right on cue, Jones and his thugs appear, furiously whipping the animals across their backs and heads. But pushed past the breaking point, the animals violently snap. They launch a massive, ruthless counterattack. They chase the humans out of the farm, violently smashing everything in their path. Whips are utterly useless. Animals across the entire farm are burning. With the rage of combat, ultimately, a terrified Jones is forced to flee the property with his wife and kids. The rebellion is an absolute, overwhelming victory. The animals are intoxicated with euphoric triumph. In those first sacred moments, they slowly breathe in the raw air of freedom. They march across the farm, systematically destroying every single remnant of human oppression. As for the main farmhouse where Jones lived, they declare it a museum-preserved monument to their victory. Napoleon and Snowball discover books in Jones's house and aggressively teach themselves to read, farm, operate machinery, and master vital survival skills. They unanimously agree to paint the 7 commandments of animalism on the farm, wall the absolute laws for their new empire. Whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy. Whatever goes upon 4 legs, or has wings, is a friend. No animal shall wear clothes. No animal shall sleep in a bed. No animal shall drink alcohol. No animal shall kill any other animal. All animals are equal. The sheep, lacking the intellect to memorize all 7 laws, are handed a brutally simplified, dumbed-down slogan. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. At every gathering, they blindly herd together and chant this mantra, sometimes for tens of minutes straight. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. The animals now address each other as comrade, maintaining mutual respect while grinding through grueling labor. Napoleon and Snowball cement their positions as the supreme commanders, simply because they are the most intelligent and knowledgeable operators. They secured the exclusive right to consume milk and apples, and hijack Jones's house, the very place previously declared a sacred museum. Why? Because, as Squealer the pig, acting as the elite propaganda minister, brilliantly spins it, comrades, we pigs consume milk and apples purely for your benefit. Can you imagine the catastrophic consequences if we pigs fail in our duty? Jones will return. Yes, Jones will return. It is an absolute certainty, comrades. Hearing the terrifying threat of their mortal enemy returning to enslave them, the terrified animals frantically nod and submit to the pig's monopoly. The leadership of Napoleon and Snowball brings massive innovations to the farm, but it simultaneously drags the entire operation into vicious, polarizing faction wars. The 2 pigs almost never agree on anything and absolutely refuse to back down. The conflict reaches a boiling point when Snowball proposes building a windmiller, massive infrastructure project promising to modernize the farm, supply year-round electricity, heat every stall, and power the machinery to eliminate grueling labor and elevate their standard of living. But Napoleon violently rejects it, dismissing the entire vision as pathetic, delusional nonsense. At the final voting assembly, realizing the masses are siding with Snowball, Napoleon executes a ruthless, premeditated coup. He unleashes 9 savage, bloodthirsty beasts. He raced like vicious wolves to violently hunt down and expels Snowball. From that exact second, Snowball is never seen on Animal Farm again. Napoleon instantly and unapologetically crowns himself the sole, absolute dictator. Everywhere he goes, he is flanked by his elite squad of 9 attack dogs, snarling and ready to mutilate anyone who dares approach their master. Displayed prominently on his chest are 2 newly minted medals: the supreme title of Animal Hero, First Class, and Animal Hero, Fierce.